Oh, welcome back. We've got the car back. Time to get back into it. After hiring the trailer for 5 weeks, we should have probably bought one. It would have been cheaper, but it's time to send it back to old U-Haul. We've taken the little rack off. He won't be watching the video, I hope. I'm gonna feel lost without my U-Haul. I'm feeling sad already. So we spoke to Turbo Smart yesterday just about the issue we had. They're hoping it's just something to do with the board not having enough silicon on it, they reckon. So they've sent us some new bits free of charge. We'll pull them apart and see what we got in there. To be honest, it's exactly the same. So we'll be doing some modifying. You're not allowed to steal the stereo, mate. Oh, when this guy's on a laptop, you know things are getting serious. Well, she's been a while between drinks anyway, so we've had a bit of a break. We've been getting a bit of work done. It's time to get back into this thing because we've got Sydney Jambo coming up in about 8 weeks from now. Got a fair few things we've got to do. I should probably start by cleaning it. Still got 2,000 k's worth of dust and shit all over it, but we've got a new gearbox. It's got an SFI case. So we'll be putting that in. It's got a couple of upgraded bits and pieces in it, purely more as a safety thing. We're going to be changing this. The other box is fine. But apart from that, we're going to pull the motor out. We've got an oil leak from the sump, which is, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of little cracks in the sump. So we'll weld them up, check some bearings, give it a big birthday really. So stay tuned, see what we find along the way. I haven't had it on the hoist since we've got it back, so it'll be good to see actually what it's looking like under there. Just a quick tip, if you've got a drive shaft usually into a 9-inch, they just have the two caps on the end of your universal joint. Instead of just throwing it on the ground and letting these fall off and all the needle rollers fall out, it's easy just to wrap some tape around them. So we had to add this pretty ghetto trans cooler before we went down to Melbourne. It was a day before it went away on the truck to head down there. It actually did the job. It knocked a good 10, 15 degrees, even 20 degrees sometimes out of the trans temp. So that got us out of trouble. Now we can upgrade and do a proper one up the front. I think we've got to get more airflow through it. These ones under the cars I think are good for racing, but for towing trailers around, I think we need better airflow to it. Just another massive thanks to old Bill Hincher. He's a pretty smart old dude, obviously. He does a lot of these adapter plates. This one here, it's been pretty street proven, that's for sure. So we've easily done probably 2,500 Ks, well 3,000 probably with the testing with the trailer prior to the last event. But everything's in there really good, so well done, mate. Righto, just a quick little thing here to note. Some power glides in the performance world have a needle roller bearing in the back of the extension housing, compared to your normal, just I think they're just a bronze bush type from factory, and for most sort of aftermarket applications you'll see that, but sometimes when they get really carried away they get that put in there. My new gearbox come with the roller bearing. We don't want that, or I've got to change the drive shaft to suit. The drive shaft yokes are different between the two, so don't try and reuse the drive shaft if you're swapping between them. So just swapping the housing over, and the new roller one can go on my old gearbox. To the guy that's bought that off me. Oh, we even gave it a quick coat of paint for old Dion since he's putting it in his Commodore. We better look after him because he gives us good deals on oil. So my case is swapped over, it's ready to go back in, but first we've got to get this motor out. Pull the sump off, check a bearing, check a big end bearing, make sure it's all happy. Well, we're ready to pull her out, so we'll get the old forklift out and make a big hole in there again. Right, we're clear. Righto, let's check a rod. I think we'll start with number 4 because it's the easiest one to do once I rotate the motor around. Well, that one looks okay. Bit of wear in there, but that's what you got to expect when you're punching 1,000 horsepower out of one of these poor little things. Now, we're running about 3.5 thou bearing clearance, so it is quite a big clearance. Probably in the bearing world. So we'll see what the other one's like. Obviously this should be the nicest one because the load doesn't happen on this one as much. It happens on the one on the rod. A little bit of wear, it looks fairly even from what I can see. Put her back in and go again, I reckon. And there's number 3, same sort of deal, a little bit of wear in there like you'd expect, but No, you can't even feel anything, you know. They're gonna go again. They're gonna do jamboree, I reckon. And number 2, similar, it's got the same little sort of marks there. I'm starting to wonder if I should just throw another set in while I've got it so apart. They get better the further we pull it apart. So that's number 1, that's all of them tested. They're going back in, they're going again. And there goes our hard starting problem. One of the brushes in the starter motor was actually broken off the housing, so we'll see if we can get a set of brushes for it and solder them back in. Should be there, like that one. That's why the starter motor's playing up on the trip. Righto guys, remember to like and subscribe so you can keep seeing the mischief we're going to get ourselves into shortly. Now we've got Jamboree coming up in about 8 weeks time, so we've got a test day we're going to try and get to in about a month from now. So we'll see if we can get it all back together, get it back on the dyno, change a few bits and pieces and give it another crack.
Break it down.